Ever since Trump was reelected, every day America has been getting greater and greater again, and Sunday was no different. MSNBC finally fired Joy Reid, who Tucker affectionately termed as the race lady on MSNBC, and for good reason. Joy Reid was the most anti-white racist person in the media, bar none, of which she is no longer a member of, well, at least once MSNBC allows her to do a show or two to appease her out of trashing the network on social media. The network that actually put up with her nonsense for 5 long years as racist, because obviously. Unfortunately for Reid, MSNBC is doing some serious house cleaning, and she's just one of the casualties. We've been hearing a lot about CNN's ratings crumbling into the ground and doing staffing shakeups, and I kept wondering, when is the shoe going to drop at MSNBC? Well, guys, the shoe has finally dropped, and it dropped on Joy Reid's derriere on the way out the door. Now, I found a video of the perfect segment of her show, The Readout, that has pretty much all the typical nasty stuff that the angry race lady on MSNBC did nightly to insult, belittle, and denigrate anyone who doesn't agree with her radical race-baiting ideology. And these things are what built up over time, that the sludge of her history on the air overwhelmed the patience of the executives who just couldn't watch the network hemorrhage more and more viewers running toward Fox News. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back. So now, let's talk about MSNBC, otherwise known as More Silly Nonsense by Chicks, because they just can't seem to stop self-destructing. Or maybe they just have it out for brown people. I mean, it's hard to say these days, right? But here's what we do know. Joyless Reid is out, and it's not just because of her long track record of race baiting, dishonesty, and just being an insufferable jackass. Nope. The one thing television executives actually care about is ratings, and they finally caught up with her. When I say caught up, I mean crashed and burned. Joy Reid's show, The Readout, went from 1.4 million viewers before the 2024 election to a pathetic 708,000. That's nearly half her audience gone. And the coveted 25 to 54 demographic, a complete disaster. She tanked by 52%, pulling in just 76,000 viewers, guys. If you're looking for the textbook definition of nobody cares, well, there it is. So I've seen a lot of channels talking about Joy Reid getting fired for all the crazy reasons, and I'm listening as well. But I want to do something with the video that I found of a segment of Joy's show that explains why she got fired. She does pretty much the same thing with every segment she does, but a lot of people haven't broken it down. And after the November 5th election, the world changed and she didn't. And a lot of people who watched that network got sick and tired of her radically racist and insulting performances. So here's a video that was done 3 years ago on May 3rd, 2021. Tucker Carlson was the one who deemed her the race lady on MSNBC, and it's not difficult to know why if you've ever watched clips of her show. Before I even knew who she was, I used to listen to her in the background from other people watching CNN, and I used to notice that this same person always talked about brown people. Everything was a crime against brown people this, brown people that. The thing in society that wasn't attacking brown people was actually attacking brown people, according to this lunatic. And I thought, this woman has a one-track mind. And then I started paying attention to her show, and psychologists and psychiatrists, they could have a field day just studying her performances. But this video is where I found basically it has everything in it that I believe is the reason why MSNBC finally threw up their hands in the air and said, you know, we got to get rid of this bum. She's killing us. But it's not just MSNBC. The whole left-wing media machine is in free fall. Ever since Trump's incredible re-election comeback in November, the media's worst nightmare has come true. People are tuning them out. Fox News is thriving while MSNBC and CNN are hemorrhaging viewers. And here's the thing. More Democrats are now watching Fox News than MSNBC or CNN. Imagine spending years screaming that Fox is dangerous and then realizing your own audience abandoned you for it. It's poetic justice, right? So here's a clip of Joy Reid fighting back against Tucker Carlson for continually referring to her as the race lady on MSNBC. And she actually has the gall to act like she has no idea why he calls her that. All one has to do is watch her show one night and you'll see it. Well, what you're going to see here is Joy's superpower Her superpower is she has the ability to convince someone that what she just pulled out of her ass was actually said or thought by the person she's attacking, even though they never thought or said it. Give it a watch.
So just for the record, I don't spend a lot of time watching Fox News or the BS Factory, as CNN's Jim Acosta more colorfully dubbed them.
Jim Acosta was fired from CNN, just like you've been fired from MSNBC. Enough said.
This weekend. Personally, I prefer my news and information to be grounded in reality.
Joy Reid has never, ever been grounded in reality.
Rather than monetizing my amygdala to keep me on edge and buying my pillows in gold.
You see what she just did? She just insulted My Pillow and Gold commercials. Two networks that never did a damn thing to her or MSNBC. And the reason why is because they are advertised on Fox and they're advertised on conservative talk radio throughout the country. She's like a child.
However, according to Media Matters, the root, crooks,
Media Matters? Seriously? They're almost as bad as Move On.
and liars and others who watch Fox News so you don't have to, at least 3 times in the last month. Well, Tucker Carlson took time off from badgering strangers in parks and bouncy houses to demand that they show him their children's unmasked faces to refer to moi as the race lady. The race lady. Why would he call me that?
Are you kidding me, Joy? Do you ever watch yourself?
I used to run track in high school, but I mean, honestly.
See, she's acting like an ass now. I used to run track in high school, but I don't know why they call me the race lady, because you're a pure racist.
I'm not that fast. So what else could it be? What else could it be?
Watch The Race Lady on MSNBC. Harvard educated but totally oppressed and absurdly racist claims, says the race lady from Harvard. Joy Reid, the race lady over at MSNBC. Here's the race lady from MSNBC finally putting her Harvard degree to work. Oh, wait a second. Harvard educated race lady? Now you're really confusing us. Well, Joy Reid, the race lady over on MSNBC, took a quick break from haranguing Whitey yesterday.
Did he say Whitey?
Yes, he did.
Oh, honey, Tuckums.
Tuckums.
Is this really about me fixating on race, or is it about you fixating on race?
Holy cow. Is she serious?
I mean, when you recently went off on me for continuing to mask up post-vaccine while jogging in crowded Central Park, you weirdly, as you did in that montage, threw in my attending Harvard. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm sensitive to this stuff, but it felt kind of like a dog whistle. I mean, did you want to go to Harvard? Did they reject you?
No,
and
he
you
didn't.
Think, oh, yeah.
He didn't want to go to Harvard.
Yeah, they let the race lady in. Blah, affirmative action. Blah.
Do you see what she just did? Do you see what she just did? What Tucker did and what you just saw Tucker do was he made fun of Harvard. Why? Because it's a libnut university that recently got caught. They discriminated against Asian students who had better grades than most other students, including the white students. And I've never met a person who went to Harvard that didn't feel the innate need to tell you that they went to Harvard. It's a joke. People from Harvard just have this sense that they're morally superior to you. And that's what he was talking about. But do you hear what she's doing? She's bringing race into it. Oh, affirmative action.
Well, listen, let me cheer you up, okay? I got into Harvard and, okay, Yale, Vassar, and the University of Denver, too, because I had a really high GPA. And
wasn't she the one that admitted that she got into Harvard because of affirmative action? Do you remember when she said that?
Well, let me just be clear. I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action. I went to a school no one had ever heard of in Denver, Colorado, in a small suburb. I didn't go to Exeter or Andover. I didn't have college test prep.
And she literally said that she wouldn't have gotten into Harvard if it wasn't for affirmative action.
Fantastic SAT scores. And that's how affirmative action works, love. Schools.
That's not how affirmative action works, love.
Schools search for smart people from diverse backgrounds so that.
No, that's how it's supposed to work, but that's not it in reality. And this is why MSNBC is crashing and burning, because of hosts like Joy Reid, who make things up on the fly just for sensationalism and for ratings. But it's not working anymore. It's pretty telling that the executives at the network didn't get rid of her when it was working during Trump's first term, even though she was pushing the race card crap daily back then as well. And it's not just cable news. The LA Times fired their entire editorial board to bring in more moderate voices because the entire editorial board was full of libnuts. BuzzFeed, downsized. Vice Media, gutted. The Washington Post, layoffs. It's almost as if people are sick and tired of left-wing propaganda masquerading as news. Now, back to MSNBC's new lineup. Joy Reid's replacement, a 3-person panel. You know it's bad when you need a committee to replace one host. And who made the cut? Simone Sanders, former Democratic strategist who is not as bad as Joy, but she might be someday. Michael Steele, the former RNC member who jumped ship to the left and nobody noticed. And Alicia Menendez, a so-called journalist. It sounds pretty riveting, doesn't it? And then there's Alex Wagner, another person of color host, also out. And guess who's stepping in for her? Jen Psaki. Yes, that Jen Psaki, the former White House mouthpiece, known for dodging questions like an Olympic fencer. All right, so what's the takeaway here? The left-wing media spent years feeding people outright lies, and now the American people are fighting back the only way that matters, by turning them off. And for MSNBC, the message is clear. Go woke, go broke. And from now on, try not to hire out-and-out racists to fill airtime 5 days a week. It comes back to haunt you. All right, thank you for watching. Hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with the latest on media meltdowns and left-wing lunacy. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems.